So we have now gotten our first look at the new and improved roster of Fnatic, and it was incredible, dismantling both Zeta Division and Detonation in the Riot Games 1 Pro Invitational Japan. This was just a short best of one series to showcase some of the franchise teams for next season, with teams like Paper Rex and DRX in attendance. But most of the attention was on Fnatic, who many think could be the most stacked team in franchising right now, as well as the favorite to win their regional league in 2023. And while they won both their matches, I want to focus on their game against Zeta Division on Haven, a map Fnatic just might be perfecting now with the recent changes in the meta. Let's start by looking at the agent composition Fnatic chose on Haven. They went with Fade, Breach, and Astra, which they played all year long, with the addition of Jet and KJ to replace Raze, which didn't fit in this comp. KJ replacing Chamber on Haven looks like the norm, as Zeta did the same thing, as well as Jet filling Chamber's ability to get opening picks on either side. This comp allowed Fnatic to spread out the map on defense and slow down advances on the site, with Breach and KJ being powerful on defense. And while Astra isn't the normal picks for smokes on this map, Boaster has liked playing Astra on Haven for a while now, and doesn't seem like he'll want to be switching anytime soon. Before we look at the full buys, I wanted to start where all maps start, the pistol round. Fnatic went 2 for 2 and 3 for 4 this tournament on pistol rounds. Winning the pistol round could be the difference between winning and losing a lot of matches in VCT. As for Fnatic, that gave them 4 rounds against Zeta, as they were able to convert their eco buys. Those 4 rounds make you already almost a third of the way to victory, a massive advantage. So how is Fnatic able to convert those rounds consistently? Let's look at round 1. So right as the round starts, Zeta rushes down A long in hopes of catching Fnatic off guard right away. With Fnatic also set up to fight for space towards A, this is quick contact. Usually in this situation, a lot of attacking teams could crumble due to this early aggression. But Fnatic showed quickly why they made these off-season changes. derke gets the first pick as he moves towards A short, to take up more room and start to create pressure on the lone Sugar Zero, who is the only member of Zeta Division holding their position. If he falls, Crow and 10 are isolated on A long with no real cover anymore. So Crow and 10 decide to continue to push forward, as they need to take A long to cut off derke and even the round. derke and the rest of Fnatic know this, so he moves back to face Crow and 10, giving them a 3v2 advantage, where they eliminate 10 and Crow with a hail of fire before Sugar Zero is able to jump into the fire and kill derke, who was focused elsewhere. Fnatic is unable to trade, but the damage has already been done with a 4-2 advantage. They decide to regroup after gaining knowledge from alfajer, where the other Zeta player is, before moving and planting B, knowing that the 2 Zeta players had been cut off from each other on either side of B. It is ultimately impossible, with Fnatic playing off site and Chronicle coming in as they defuse to finish the round. The main reason why Fnatic was able to win this aggressive pistol round was that they never overextended or responded with overaggression when faced with it from Zeta. derke could have easily kept pushing forward or decided to keep the space in A short, which in turn would have led to a 2v2 for A lobby, where it could have been a toss-up on which team would hit their shots, especially on pistol, where every franchise player is more or less competent at wiping a team when given the chance. By giving up the space temporarily, it gave Fnatic the advantage to make Zeta's aggressive push look weak, and give Fnatic the first round in the map. On the second pistol round in round 13, we saw Fnatic's patience towards Zeta's aggression work again, but now on the defensive side. As the round starts, Zeta pushes quickly onto C, where only a KJ Molly defends, which does keep most of Zeta off the site for a second, but Fnatic decides not to use it at all to contest the site, but rather they completely group off site, ready to retake as soon as Zeta plants. They are able to do this with no fear of Zeta attacking from behind because of the flank and containment of derke, which he provides with his flank through mid, now already near C lobby. This is a huge advantage, especially into the post plant, as Fnatic knows exactly where Zeta is, while Fnatic's positioning is a complete mystery. This leads to derke picking up the first kill on Sugar Zero, their smokes, as he and Laz try to reposition. Zeta is a sitting duck now, with Laz taken by surprise and unable to trade. Now with the pressure from derke taking up Laz's attention, Fnatic finally decides to move on to site, where they clean it up, only leaving Laz, who just has to swing to try and stop the defuse, but nothing comes of it. This round again shows how Fnatic is able to control Zeta's aggression against Zeta in order to pick up 2 very impressive pistol rounds relatively easily. And on Haven, map control is extremely important, as with 3 spike sites, it can be pretty easy to leave a spot unguarded, which can slice up your whole team. Ultimately, in rounds where the firepower is so low, picking fights that you have some slight advantage can be all the difference, especially between 2 franchise teams where aim really isn't that big of a difference from player to player. So now that we have seen how Fnatic has been able to play their pistol rounds to perfection, I want to look at why their attacking side of Haven is so deadly. Starting on round 5, there promises to be yet another quick contact with both teams leaning heavy A. They both use a lot of util, with both teams trying to take space early. In mid, Zeta tries to pull a similar flank to the round we just looked at, but alfajer holds the flank, but he's quickly traded out. Back at A short, Sugar0 is able to take out derke, leaving a 4v3 advantage for Zeta. They decide to back up and rotate. With some confidence, Chronicle peeks mid and gets overextending 10. This is a huge mistake by Zeta, as it completely gives away their advantage and leaves the other 2 sites completely open. But here's where Fnatic has perfected Haven and understood the strengths of the map. They waited 50 seconds before they put up an Astra ult and moved towards C. Fnatic played both the clock and Zeta's lack of map control to put Zeta completely in the dark and force them to scramble around the map looking for them, never able to set up a real defense with only 3 players left. Once the Astra ult was up, they took C and set up an iron defense as that they disorganized Zeta players were unable to defeat. Fnatic showed in this round that they understand how to use the length of this map to their advantage, and waited out, as they're confident they have the better game sense and chemistry in any matchup. The rest of the half looked about the same for Fnatic, as they were able to pick up easy and hard rounds, going 9-3 for their attacking half. On defense, it was no different, as they finished the game 13-5 in dominant fashion with an excellent defensive side. There's one round I really wanted to show this great defense. In round 16, Zeta is set up towards A, but doesn't play it aggressive, instead tries this cool updraft with Depp peeking mid, but is unable to get anything. Fnatic is spread pretty evenly across the map. This is thanks to Fade being able to slow down any advances towards A on her own, and KJ set up on C, which allows the rest of Fnatic to hold mid early in the round before providing support A, where most of the util had been exchanged. They then hold tight toward both entrances onto A. These spots are so good for Fnatic, as it could really be hard for Zeta to be able to trade, with 2 people facing entrances they are coming out of. This could be the perfect shredder for Fnatic. Zeta knows that Fnatic has had enough time to figure out where they are coming from, so Depp tries to explode on the site to allow some space for his team to come through. But there's just too many people in sight, and Chronicle picks up the first 2 before trading out. 3 on site was the perfect number, as derke survives the trades and protecting the site against the last Zeta player. It becomes impossible as the rest of Fnatic converge on his location. This round was insane and showed that this team is confident and trusts in each other's abilities to play their roles well. When Zeta was moving forward towards A, Fnatic already set up in this very forward positioning on A, where they were giving up 0 space. They were never going to try to retake this. Either they were going to hit their shots right away as Zeta attacked the site, or they were going to lose the round. And with this team, they're confident that they'll hit their shots more times than not. Fnatic was able to close the game out just 2 rounds later with a great 3v3 retake, started off by their Fade ult that located the remaining Zeta players on site, where they were able to overwhelm them and finish the map 13-5. A completely dominant performance for Fnatic, who already looks season ready. After this performance, Fnatic was able to do about the same against Detonation on Pearl, where they took the map in a closer scoreline of 13-8, where Leo and alfajer really took the map, leaving the tournament 2-0, looking like a truly dominant team with 0 weak spots on the roster anymore. Honestly, to me, they look like one of the most complete teams in Valorant history so far. And if this is only the beginning, by the lockdown tournament in Sao Paulo in February, they could be lifting their first Valorant trophy.